a video on me faffing about with something. So, years and years and years ago, I was a scout and going to camp. We were in charge of cooking for ourselves, and one of the boys decided that we'd have chicken. We didn't roast. I suppose we could have roasted the chicken on the fire, but he decided that we'd cook it in a pan. So we'd poach it in some water, and it was I remember it being rather quite nice. So I kind of thought. I mean, so essentially we were making like a chicken stock as well. So it was like a chicken, and we just poached it in the water, and then we threw the water away stupidly. We could have done something interesting with the liquid. We could have made some soups, but we didn't. But you live and learn, don't you? So I kind of thought we'll have a go at. I'll just wash my hands. Thought we'll just have a go at that. So I'm going to poach this chicken, and then I've got some stock which is a bit cloudy. So this stock, well, it's not really stock. It's the liquid from me rendering some beef fat to make tallow, like beef dripping for chips. So it's a little bit cloudy, and then I cooked the carrots in it from work last night. So it's kind of got like a carroty flavour to it, and it's a bit salty already. So I kind of thought we'll use that, and then hopefully the chicken will also have the hopefully added effect of clarifying the stock up a little bit, because I've found that when I add raw diced chicken to some of the cloudy stock and then brought it up to the boil and cooked the chicken in the stock, it clarified the stock. It clarified a chicken stock that I did it with, and it also clarified I'm just moving that around. Also a stock from some beans that I cooked some beans in. So it clarified it up. So I'm kind of thinking that hopefully it will work with the chicken as well. So, and I've also got some chickpeas. So the idea is that we'll have some mashed up chickpeas, and we'll make a sauce from the whole onions that are in there, and then we'll have chicken on mashed chickpeas for tea, and then we'll kind of faff around and make a bit of a sauce from the onions and a bit of the stock. I did originally think that I would use the stock from the chickpeas to cook the chicken as well, but there seems to be quite a lot of stock. But I would have done that. If I had less stock, I would have used the water from the cooked chickpeas. We can't cook chickpeas in that because it's got salt in, and it would have toughened up the chickpeas and taken them a lot longer to cook. So it's better to cook chickpeas separately and then use that water to then cook the chicken rather than cook it all together, because then you won't be able to put salt in there. We'd end up with a boring bit of chicken. There is already salt in there. So bring that up to the boil and then slowly poach it for, I reckon, about 40 minutes, something like that. 40 minutes. It'd take a lot less cooking time in a pot of liquid than it ever would in the oven. So for a chicken that size, you're probably looking at, as you say, for the oven, an hour and 9 minutes. I reckon that we'll get that cooked in about 40 minutes until it's nice and tender. We won't have juicy, crispy skin, but that won't matter, will it? No. So up to boil and then a slow simmer, and I've also put in a preserved lemon because I kind of quite fancied that flavour of that umami kind of sourness of a preserved lemon. So that chicken's starting to float, which means that it's probably heated all the way through, but that doesn't mean it's tender. So how long has it had? It's had 15 minutes simmering, so it'll certainly need another 15 minutes, and I kind of want it falling off the bone. The only danger I see is that these onions probably won't be cooked in that time. I don't want to put the lid on, which will speed up the cooking process, because I'm trying to see if that stock will become a little less cloudy, and it looks like it is. We've got some fat coming to the top, but that'll be from the chicken and from there was a little bit of beef fat in there as well. So I don't want to boil it too much, because I don't want the sediment to boil back into the stock and make it cloudy. But it looks like it's clearing up. Like I can just kind of see like the proteins are kind of clumping together and collecting collecting the sediment and the impurities. But so fingers crossed, we'll be back when it's ready. That's had longer than 40 minutes, but it is super tender, smelling delicious. So the onions just aren't quite cooked though, but that stock has cleared up, and I've tasted it, and it's delicious, absolutely delicious. It tastes like a stock I think a stock should taste. That's the only way I can describe it. I'm always a little bit disappointed with stocks, if I'm honest, but this tastes like I want a stock to taste. Absolutely delicious. So those onions aren't cooked quite yet, so we need to do something about that, don't we? Because that's what we're going to turn it into a sauce out of for fun. So you can see the stock has cleared up a lot. It's gone super. What's that? Yeah, so crystal clear. Well, not crystal clear, but very clear. So we need to strain those things out of that stock. We need to cook those onions some more so we can pure them down and turn them into some kind of sauce for the chicken. And we need to heat up the chickpeas in that liquid and then mash them. So, do you need to see that? No, not really. I'll put the stock through a cloth. It's clean as that. It's just a bit stained through other uses. So we'll get it nice and crystal clear, and then you'll be able to see how crystal clear it is. And then we'll make a sauce, which will basically be, how tender are these onions? I think I want them tenderer than that. Oh no, that's fine. We'll be able to pure those up and we'll turn them into a sauce with a bit of milk, I think, and a bit of stock. We'll see how we go. I've heated the chickpeas up and just mashed them just a little bit. I'm going to use some of those chickpeas to thicken the sauce. So, onions have been cooked down further in a bit of the stock, and we'll just puree with the blender. And then that's going to fall over as always. I can just live in there for a second. I want some of these chickpeas into the sauce to add it, give it a bit of body. And then we're going to put a bit of butter in as well. So, I need a longer cable on my blender. Made a mess last time. So, a little bit of butter in the sauce, and then quite a lot of butter in the chickpeas. So let's see what that butter does to that sauce. We might need a bit more stock, but we've got some at hand. It looks good, a bit thick, so we just need a bit more stock. Making a mess as always, so a bit of stock just to let it down. That's alright. So, how does that taste? I think it's going to be delicious. Oh, that's good. Now I did think about putting a bit of the lemon in it, So, bit of a chef's trick. What you can do is you add lemon to sauces just to kind of lift the kind of flavour. So I wonder if a bit of preserved lemon in there, I wonder what that would do to that sauce. Nice as it was, but we might just improve it with this lemon. How does it taste? Hopefully I haven't ruined it. Oh, it's even better. So, who'd have thought we could make a chickpea and preserved lemon sauce? Right, that out of the way, that out of the way, that out of the way so we don't make a mess. And then finish off mashing these chickpeas. The secret with a lot of restaurant cooking is the amount of butter that goes in everything. So these chickpeas have been cooked and then warmed up in the stock. So they will have taken on a little flavour of the stock, but they might just need a bit of salt. Yeah, so, well, the restaurants I worked in, salt and butter made everything taste much better. Or salt and fat. Bit boring watching me mash something, isn't it? But it's an alternative to mashed potatoes, so that's lovely. Right, let's have a look at this chicken. So I've just covered it while I was doing other things. Where's my knife? Oh, I should have taken the wishbone out. No, I shouldn't, because that's what's probably keeping it together. Excuse fingers. They are clean. There. Doesn't that look good? And you just need to take it off that bone like that. So, how does it taste? That's much nicer than the one I had at Scout Camp. 35 years ago. That's lovely, is that? That's lovely. So I don't know how exactly you replicate that, but that's slow poached chicken. Those thighs were lovely and tender as well. So, I mean, if you like crispy skin, roast it, but certainly a one pot type of thing. So, that's lovely. So, cook your chickpeas, take out the chickpeas, and leave the water in the pan, add the chicken, add some onions, and a bit of chicken stock, poach your chicken, and then kind of combine. That's lovely, is that? I don't know what the purpose of this video is, other than to show you what I'm having for my dinner on a Saturday night. But the preserved lemon works really well, and the chickpea sauce is kind of quite lovely. So I'll certainly be making that again. Oh, and you can see how. So that's this is the stock. So see how that clear that is compared to what it was like when I put it in the pan. So cooking the chicken in a cloudy stock, if it's certainly a chicken stock, certainly clarifies the stock. So that was the point of the video, wasn't it? Yes. So a success, and delicious, even more so of a success.